Hello, this is me, Shamrita Paul, and today I'm going to introduce you to the rules of chess. You see here it is a chessboard, and now you will the starting position looks like this. A chessboard has 64 squares, as you can count. So and the colors are brown or black, as you can see, and white. I'm using a different board, so the darker one is brown and white. Anyways, let's go on. First, as we can see, we have 8 pawns, 1 king, 1 queen, 2 bishops, 2 knights, and 2 rooks. This is the starting position. As we can see, there are numbers and letters like H, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. And we can also see numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So when we make a move, let's example play this. I played E3 because it's in the it's on the E and also is the third column. So this is an important thing, and that's why, as you can see, that this is that's why the chess is also for blind people. Now let's move on to how the pieces go. Let's say how first we will go back and see how does the pawn move. This is the home square of the pawn, right? So we're going to push the king's pawn to and now pawns can move 2 squares on the home square from the home square. So we push this. But after that, we cannot just push it. Let's say black plays something like this. Okay. Now we cannot just go to E6. We can only go to E5. So the simple concept to remember that we can go up 2 squares from the home square, but after that we can only go 1 square. Now we will see how they capture. So they capture diagonally. They go straight, but they capture diagonally. Like as you can see on D5 and F5. It's controlling this square. So if black plays this move F5, I can just simply take this pawn. Or or if they play this, as I can also capture the pawn. Right? Now we are going to go back, and now we will see that how does how does a bishop move. So we play this to open our bishop. A bishop moves diagonally, so remember that. So a light squared bishop can only go to light squared diagonally. So it can only go to, let's say they play symmetrical. We can play anything. We can play D, bishop d3 is a valid move, but we cannot go to bishop h3 because the pawn is blocking it. It moves diagonal. Same with the dark squared bishop. Okay, we have to move this pawn. And what if queen comes here? That's a blunder, and we can capture the queen. So we know how the bishop moves. Now we can say that how does a knight move, right? A knight moves in an L shape. Imagine it's like this. But look at this. It can be moved. It moves in an L shape. Do you see the L forms in form? It is an L form in shape. Let's say they play this. We can play this now. See the L pattern? See the L pattern? If they play this, we can play anywhere. This is the consoles. We can come here, we can come here, we can come here, and come here. So it's a tricky piece to learn. So be careful. Now let's move with our queen. Okay, so let's say how can a queen move? A queen is a very tricky piece, but we will talk about it later. First, let's talk about the rook. The rook stays here. Okay, so the rook is on the corners. Now the rook, let's say black plays this. We can now the rook can move in straight lines like that. If we push this and we can just develop it like this. It moves in straight lines like that. It is moving in straight lines. It's very linear. Bishops are also linear, but they move diagonally. So let's say now we will talk about the queen. What is the queen? So we play d5. The queen in the piece is very valuable, so you don't want to lose this piece. So let's say black plays this. Now we can move in straight lines. It combines the power of the bishop and the rook into one piece. We can move in linear, but then if let's say black plays this, we can also play this or this. We can look at that. We can also play this. We attack this pawn. If they play this, easy. So the queen is a very powerful piece. So remember that. So now we know how the pieces move. Now I will want to think it. What is check and capture? Imagine capture is when I take a piece. Like I captured this piece, but he can also capture this piece because remember pawns capture diagonally, not in straight lines. They capture. We take and capture, right? A pawn is so now we can see here that the capture is taking a piece, right? Now, what is a check? If we take this, it's a check for the king. The king has to move. The king is forced to move. Okay, the king has to move, or they can interpose it, like can play this, or can also capture it. Right? In some scenarios, let's say takes. Look at this. We play this. King goes here, and we give a and we kick out developer or knight. The knight goes back, and now we give this check. We cannot capture this queen in any terms, so the king can't move because it's the only thing. There's no interpose in here. The king has to move back. You guys understand? So now we know what's a check and what's a capture. Now what's a checkmate? Now I want to give you something. Let's say they played this. Let's say we play this. Okay. They play this. We capture the pawn. They play this. We go here. The queen comes here. The bishop comes here. And now white strikes with this. Mate. Queen h5 mate. A checkmate. What's a checkmate then? A checkmate is, look at this. Can the black king interpose this check? No. Can someone capture this queen? No. Can the king move away? No, because he's just trapped. So in this situation where where black doesn't have any defense, is known as checkmate. Thank you for coming in this lesson about beginners, how to move pieces, and how the rules work. Thank you for all the support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to your friends who doesn't know chess. Thank you so much.